I'm Joan Lunden. Welcome to DirecTV Hometown Heroes, a show about our subscribers from all over the country who perform extraordinary acts of kindness and courage every day.
Sarah, can you get the foil?
Tonight, you'll learn how two Midwestern families separated by hundreds of miles were connected by remarkable generosity.
It just showed me that we got a lot of wonderful people out there that want to help.
Visit upstate New York to see the powerful legacy of comedian Gilda Radner at work.
This caring that was in her is now being exchanged by members of Gilda's Club.
And see how giving cameras to kids in Brooklyn can transform their lives.
We're having a really big impact on their choices as young adults.
This is DirecTV Hometown Heroes.
People get ready, there's a train coming, picking up passengers from coast to coast. All you need is faith to hear that diesel humming. You don't need no ticket, you just get on board.
We begin tonight with a story about families helping families. It sometimes seems impossible to help somebody who lives across town, much less across the country. But we found some exceptional people who connect families with more to families with profoundly less, no matter where they are. Correspondent Grant Beeve has the story.
Chicago, Illinois, a bustling metropolis where fans fill the stands at Wrigley Field, and countless millionaires dock their boats just off Lakeshore Drive. But just 70 miles south of Chicago, residents of a devastatingly poor farming community struggle to survive. This is Pembroke Township, a place that's practically abandoned.
We are the second poorest community in the United States and the poorest community in the state of Illinois.
John Dyson is the pastor of the Church of the Cross in Pembroke. He struggles every day to ease the suffering of his flock.
I can't change this situation, but I know somebody who can.
For some reason, it seems that this community had been left out.
But there's a ray of hope.
It's just a blessing to meet you.
Pastor Dyson is part of a unique grassroots effort to bring food, supplies, and love to this needy community. It all started half a continent away here in Hastings-on-Hudson, a wealthy suburb of New York City. 4 years ago, Pam Kohner read a newspaper article about the poverty and hunger in Pembroke.
I stopped after I read it and got up and said, how can there be such a difference?
Pam knew she had to do something. She immediately got in touch with Pastor Dyson
and asked him to put a list together of the most desperately in need families.
She was concerned with the children here. She was concerned with the seniors here. She was just concerned overall that there was something that she could do that would help bring relief here. And we connected.
Her own parents.
With that phone call, Family to Family was born.
When she started her chapter in Pembroke, Thanks My Help.
It linked needy families in Pembroke and elsewhere with a community of families all across America who wanted to help them.
Every month, we send something that someone in poverty can't purchase. That would be over-the-counter medications, clean underwear, fresh socks, toothbrushes and toothpaste, personal care items. I mean, things that are not purchasable through food stamps.
Things like deodorant, mouthwash, we take for granted. But there are people who cannot buy these type of items because of the fixed income budgets that they're on.
Sarah, can you get the foil?
3 years ago, Mary Kay Woodruff of Edgewood, Kentucky joined Family to Family's nationwide effort.
About 5 of them.
She started sending care packages to a family in Pembroke.
Our family, we help to support Iris White, who is probably 61 now. She raises her grandchildren.
Mary Kay says she began volunteering with Family to Family to teach her 3 kids the importance of helping others.
I wanted them to know that it's everybody's responsibility to give in some fashion, to give back for all the blessings that we've had in our life.
Over the years, Mary Kay and Iris have grown close by exchanging letters.
Thank you, Mary Kay. Every item of clothing was able to be worn by the kids. You will never know how wonderful your kindness has been. Thank you.
Mary Kay says she almost feels like she knows Iris's grandkids.
Last month, I was able to buy Roisha her first pair of store-bought gym shoes in her life. There is Roisha, who is probably 11 or 12. Kenyetta is probably 10 or 11. And then Deo is probably 7.
The letters brought them so close, Mary Kay started thinking of Iris and the kids as part of her family.
I can feel her emotion in her letters because of how well she writes. And, you know, she tells us of the good times and the bad times that the kids go through. I feel how appreciative she is of what we're doing. And I've made a friend across the miles.
But as warm as the letters were, there were still hundreds of miles between Mary Kay and her family and Iris and hers. That's why Mary Kay decided to pack up the kids and make the 5-hour drive from her home in Kentucky to Pembroke, Illinois, to finally make the connection truly family to family.
I chose to take the kids with me because they're one of the biggest reasons I decided to do this.
On the long drive to Pembroke, Mary Kay's son Derek experienced a mix of emotions.
Nervous, excited. Wow, I thought I'd never get to meet him ever, so it was kind of cool.
And I think it's important and exciting for them to meet the woman that we've been corresponding with and to see a community outside of Edgewood, Kentucky. We can't wait. We're really excited.
A little school thing.
As they waited for Mary Kay and her family to arrive, Iris and her grandkids were excited too.
Okay. Hey. You look just like I thought you would.
And with that warm embrace began an emotional meeting that was years in the making.
They brought a few things. They wanted to get something little to bring the girls from Kentucky. We sat down and made them.
Oh.
And they're fun. You make
You just don't know how helpful you've been for me and the kids.
You know, you've helped me a lot just with reading your letters. You know, you've inspired me.
Mary Kay has been a true blessing to me. She is such a sweetheart.
I've met some of my heroes today. That's the best part of this whole adventure.
Puts everything in perspective. You know, I get to meet all the families, see how it goes down, and down here it gets more understanding.
When you come here, it just makes it real. Makes everything we're doing real, and just makes you want to work harder at it.
And so, for one family in need, from another family only too happy to help, a story that truly embodies the mission of family to family.
The idea that somebody 1,000 miles away knows that you exist when you are so profoundly poor is a little bit like that wheel of life shifting ever so slightly. You know, everything looks just a little bit different.
It was just a wonderful experience. It filled my heart and motivated me. It just showed me that the love crosses colors, it crosses denominations, and people are people. And we've got a lot of wonderful people out there that want to help.
It makes me feel really good that someone that I don't even know thinks enough of us to help us and to do things for us.
I feel good about what we do. We're not saving the world, but we're just maybe helping somebody's life just be a little easier each and every month. It's very worthwhile. You take care.
Okay.
Family to Family currently helps more than 7,000 families in 10 different states each month. For his support of Family to Family, we salute Pastor Joan Dyson as a DirecTV hometown hero.
Just grab the camera and just say, hey, Mom.
Coming up next, giving low-income kids cameras and the confidence to change their lives.
When I walk into this room, I feel like I have to get to work, like I have to get something done.
And later,
Are you familiar with Gilda's Club?
find out the true legacy of comedian Gilda Radner.
We focus on people, not on cancer, and we focus on living.
DirecTV Hometown Heroes will be right back. Welcome back. Our next story takes us to Brooklyn, New York, where a husband and wife left behind careers in the entertainment business to give something back to the disadvantaged kids in their community. Correspondent Rich DeMuro has their story.
Brooklyn, New York has always been a filmmaker's dream. The streets here are full of life. And behind every corner is another kid with a story to tell. John Williams and his wife Stephanie Walter Williams founded RealWorks to help kids do just that.
Every story that we helped a young person realize and put on video was a unique opportunity, not only to help a young person, but to get a story told that, you know, otherwise wouldn't be told. When was the last time you watched this?
After successful careers in TV production, John and Stephanie founded RealWorks in 2001.
Film festivals, right? We're waiting to hear.
The program gives kids a sense of purpose by teaching them to make documentary films about their lives.
Yeah, we were just actually talking about that. About a third of our kids come into our program at risk of finishing high school. 87% of kids who finish our program stay in high school or go on to college. So we're having a really big impact on their decisions and their choices as young adults.
Working out of this small space in the Prospect Park YMCA, John and Stephanie have dedicated their lives to helping disadvantaged kids in their community.
I like that. That, of course, your cousin. I remember turning to Stephanie and saying, we're going to invest some time in this. This is worth the sacrifice it's going to take. It starts with the kids. It starts with the young people.
At RealWorks, young people like Ryan Bethune get a window to a future of limitless possibilities.
People look at the homeless and think that they deserve it, and they also think that it will never happen to them.
They live here now, but only a year ago, Ryan's family became homeless when his mom was unable to afford care for his disabled sister. At RealWorks, Ryan made a documentary film about it.
My daughter Glenda, she's 19, and she's special needs.
What was the story you wanted to share through your film?
To tell about me and my family's experience in the homeless shelter.
Placements that they put you in, half of them is nasty.
But also show that anybody can end up in that situation. You don't have to be...
Ryan was referred to RealWorks by a friend at school.
Ryan is one of the students who came in and said, I'm going to tell this story. I'm going to tell the story about this experience because it's important.
Kids who go through the RealWorks program gain confidence by mastering cameras and computer editing equipment. And they get expert guidance from mentors, like Laura Cardona, who helped Ryan with his documentary.
She helped me organize the ideas and ideas I had, since, she already had experience in editing and, filmmaking, putting stories together.
He says, I lived in a shelter and we were homeless. And I said, man, oh man, like this is a story that adults wouldn't even be able to relate to.
To the hospital.
Ryan started his documentary by interviewing his mom.
It just was a place I never thought that I would live in.
He admits it wasn't easy to talk about being homeless.
What about with your family, though, to revisit that? Was it tough for them?
I think it was tough for my mom because when I was interviewing her, sometimes she would pause and, look away. So, you could tell that deep inside that was, affecting her in some way.
I was scared. I didn't know what to expect. I'd heard all these things about shelter, and I felt so alone.
Telling his family's story was a challenge. But Ryan always looked forward to arriving at the safe haven of the RealWorks lab.
When I walk into this room, I just feel like I had to get to work, you have to get something done.
So how were you thinking of finishing the film? What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I was thinking of finishing it with my mom.
As Ryan found out, making a documentary at RealWorks is a labor of love that can change you.
This has also allowed him to work out the things that he went through when we became homeless, because he's a quiet kind of guy, but you could see that it affected him deeply.
He was able to parlay his experience into something positive. That's important that we see that, and also that he gives a window into this world that a lot of us misunderstand.
I think that the films that are successful demonstrate courage. They demonstrate a willingness to not have so many boundaries or borders about how personal they're going to be.
The student filmmakers at RealWorks might never become famous directors, But for the 150 kids who finish the program each year, the experience is a life changer.
How have they changed by the end of the process?
I think the kids learn that through perseverance, they really can achieve anything.
I've seen Ryan kind of change over the past 6 months from a very quiet guy to a boisterous, funny, confident young man. Very proud of the work he's done, and he deserves to be.
How was your trip in Canada?
For his part, Ryan says he's developed a passion for making movies.
My favorite thing about filmmaking is being the cameraman, because like you can get whatever visuals you want. It's like you are in control of the visuals that, you know, the editor edits and all the beautiful shots that you get and anything that you take time to capture on your camera.
With films made by RealWorks kids winning a Student Emmy and several other awards, it's clear that nearly 7 years after starting, John and Stephanie are doing something special.
John and Stephanie are very nice people. They're very, you know, calm and everything, and they are very welcoming. They're supportive to my work and all the other kids' work that come through here.
We have to help them to see that there's just so many other options in life.
We're doing something that's exciting, and ultimately, we're changing some young lives.
And cut.
AOL recently been streaming films by RealWorks kids on a new website devoted to documentaries. For helping disadvantaged teens develop self-esteem and confidence, John Williams and Stephanie Walter Williams are DirecTV hometown heroes. Coming up next, comedian Gilda Radner inspires a place like no other.
Hey, I should have called sooner.
You're watching DirecTV Hometown Heroes. Our final story tonight is about a disease that has impacted countless lives, cancer. Perhaps the most difficult part of facing cancer is the feeling of being alone. We met a woman who created a special place so no one has to battle cancer by themselves. Albany, New York, Labor Day weekend. Runners gathered for a 5K race to raise money for a unique cancer community center called Gilda's Club.
Hi, are you familiar with Gilda's Club?
Gilda's Club is a meeting place, non-residential, free of charge, where people come together, men, women, children, families, and friends, and together they learn how to live with cancer, whatever the outcome.
Psychotherapist Joanna Bull pioneered the idea of community cancer centers in the late 1970s.
Basically, what happens when cancer enters the family is that everyone feels isolated.
When former Saturday Night Live star Gilda Radner was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, she worked closely with Joanna.
She came out of the shell that she'd gotten into and regained her sense of humor and kept it most of the time.
Joanna's treatment helped Gilda so much, it was her dying wish to see a cancer community center opened on the East Coast. Gilda's husband, actor Gene Wilder, and close family friend, the late Joel Siegel, and others, teamed up with Joanna to do just that.
Gilda once said that having cancer gave her membership in an elite club she'd rather not belong to. How could we not name it Gilda's Club?
Their goal was really just to open the New York City clubhouse. And then I think when they saw how it resonated with people, it just took on a life of its own.
Thanks to Joanna's efforts, 30 Gilda's Clubs have opened their doors in the U.S. and Canada, helping thousands of people. Gilda's Club Capital Region is the newest. It is a large home-like facility located in a suburb of Albany, New York. Its doors are open free of charge day or night to anybody touched by cancer.
Where's your wife getting her treatment?
Well, we were down Memorial Sloan.
Weekly luncheons give members a chance to share their experiences.
I had a mastectomy in February. I found the lump just before Christmas.
It's a great way to bring our members in, particularly new people who have some fears about what to expect when they come through the doors.
And we say just come as you are.
That's great. I should have called sooner, but...
You know what? You're ready now, and that's all that counts.
Yeah.
We focus on people, not on cancer. And we focus on living.
Oh, let it all out.
Group yoga classes help center body and mind. But that's only one of many activities that keep community members connected in Gilda's Club.
They all are welcome to go to networking groups, lectures, workshops.
I was diagnosed in December of '05 with chronic lymphocytic leukemia.
Sometimes all a member needs is a chance to talk and someone to listen.
I don't know what it's like to sit through chemo and to go through the agonies of it. I do know what it's like to sit on this side and watch my friend and my family go through it.
Individuals who are going through that common bond of the cancer journey can gain knowledge from each other, can gain support from each other.
It's basically a community that emerges from the sharing that people do together.
Lisa McMurdo is a nurse who was a driving force behind getting this club built. She never dreamed she would be needing its services. Then in 2006, she was diagnosed with breast cancer.
The irony of that did certainly hit me. I said, well, I've joined the club. I didn't want to join the club, but I've joined the club.
Lisa knew she couldn't go through treatment without Gilda's Club.
I'm single, live alone. I have the cat, but the cat, you know, can't drive you to the doctor.
Gilda's Club helped Lisa organize her friends to provide round-the-clock care.
What we did was each person got a week where they basically were in charge of me. They called a couple times a week at least, would take me to appointments, and it was wonderful, and Gilda's has been here for me, really has been.
Gilda's Club is not just there for patients, it's also there for friends and family.
When cancer happens, it happens to the whole family. It happens to everybody. It happens to everybody who cares about you.
Kay and Justin Canfield lost their father, John, to leukemia this past June. Gilda's Club was there for them.
It makes me feel better because I thought like we're the only people that had cancer.
The club provides group activities designed to help children cope.
It helped give me like the strength to keep moving on.
Giving people the strength, love, and support of a community while they battle cancer. That's what Joanna Bull had in mind when she helped found Gilda's Club 16 years ago.
Joanna Bull is one of my heroes because she really dedicated her life to fulfilling Gilda's wish.
She's just such an inspiration, reaching as many people as possible who are on a cancer journey and helping them so that no one has to go through that process alone.
But Joanna says it's the woman who was the inspiration behind Gilda's Club who deserves all the credit.
She was so behind this. She so wanted to see it happen. And I love to think that this is her legacy. This kindness and this caring that was in her being is now being exchanged, given person to person, heart to heart, by members of Gilda's Club.
Tens of thousands of people have found comfort at the 30 Gilda's Clubs in North America. Helping to create Gilda's Club makes Joanna Bull a DirecTV hometown hero. The inspirational stories you've just seen show how DirecTV subscribers are changing lives in their communities. These unsung heroes show us all how we can make a difference. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on DirecTV Hometown Heroes. Until then, I'm Joan Lunden. For more information on how to get involved, go to directv.com/heroes.
People get ready, there's a train coming, picking up passengers from coast to